Alright, recording in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Say your prayers.
Our prayers!
Perfect!
Hello there, everyone, and I guess I should welcome you all back to the HoH Podcast, or whatever we decided to call this podcast, moving forward. But for now, it's been a little while since the last time we've done one of these, so it might be a little important to reintroduce you to some people. So first off, let me introduce, she is like a Pokemon because she has evolved from Miss to Mrs. to now Mama. It is the one and only Dizzy Daisy. Hello.
That was so sweet. I don't even know what to say. Hello.
Hello.
It's Dizzy. How you doing?
Next, we have an author, an anime lover, and a man who likes to punch ghosts, particularly in the right titty nipple. It's Nick. Hello, Nick.
What was that last part? Oh, what?
I want to know more.
I need to know more also. Am I in character?
For now, we can learn more later because we still have two other people. We have the head of the Freeman Hydra. Seen fighting
Hold on.
100 duck-sized horses.
Donut.
What? Yes.
You
Hello.
sound like your
We've
mouth
started
is...
to lose you.
Yeah, it sounds like your mouth is really close to the mic, and it's not...
It
picking
might
up.
be. How about now?
That's better.
Much
Okay.
less
I
moist.
I think we're gonna have to redo after Nick's... I'll cut it. I'll edit it. Don't worry,
God
guys.
damn it! All right.
Or I'll just leave it. Maybe this will go in the final cut. I won't edit anything. Who knows?
All right, just look.
Oh, no.
He's a Hydra.
I like
He
retake.
fights 100 duck-sized horses. It's the maximum of Freemans. It's Maximus Freeman. Hello.
I also like the ghost titty nipples. I just would like to add that.
Oh, well. There's
You'll
always
need
next time.
answers.
You'll get answers. Fourth off, we have the recorder of all recorders, and in fact, a actual moon. Hi, Luna. How are you?
Hi. I'm really terrified, honestly. I've been jittery
Well-
all day thinking about this.
Don't be, because it's just a podcast. And hi, I'm Donut. Who gives a shit? So welcome back,
Wait,
everyone.
wait.
We give a
You
shit,
give a better
Donut.
introduction there yourself than that.
He's the mayor of Sprinkle Land. He's
That's
more
not true.
glazed than all the other men. He's
Don't know about that
Donutcop.
I don't know if that one's true. I'm just here. Hi, how are you? I'm the host. What's new? What's going on? How are you guys?
I'm good. How are you?
It's
Doing good.
When was the last episode uploaded? Does anyone know that? Right off the top of their heads.
I want to say it was like 7 years ago.
7 years ago.
7 years.
Never listen to
yeah.
my recorded voice ever.
It's a smart call, but, so 7 years might have been a little bit of time, you know?
Just a brief hiatus.
Some things have happened, like I said. Diz is a mother. Ooh.
Is created
I am.
and passed through a human being through her body since we last talked.
It's
the
true.
monster.
The monster.
A monster.
I'm sorry,
Monster.
monster.
As I said, Nick likes to punch ghosts in the left titty
I
nipple.
still don't know where you're getting this.
I thought it was the right.
No, it's the left. Freeman's the right.
Oh.
Yes.
It's a double team.
I'm very confused where this character art came from.
Wombo combo, Nick.
Wombo combo. And me and Luna are here. What's going on? So, yeah. I guess to explain what this is, because Hellion messaged all of us, I think individually, about bringing this podcast back. I think that's fair to say, yeah?
And he
Yeah.
had a tiny rolled cigarette in his mouth while he did it.
Yes, he did.
Okay, I didn't see him, but I'll trust that's what he looked like.
I believe
I just know he did.
I feel
I
like he's
trust
just
your
born
intuition.
with a cigarette in his mouth at this point. Inaccurate?
it must have been very awkward.
Accurate.
Potentially. Accurate.
They have a lighter.
Maybe. But, so yeah, Hellion asked us all individually, hey, come back. Why not bring it back to reintroduce people from the community and, you know, see what happens? Who knows? Maybe we'll be the next Joe Rogan. Maybe we'll all be taking ivermectin, but no promises.
They're putting chemicals in the water.
No, that's Alex Jones, but good try.
Shit.
I mean, he was also rather popular.
He was also rather popular. Fair.
Fortunately,
Yep.
is rather popular.
Don't know about that one. Wait, are you talking about Joe Rogan or Alex Jones?
Alex Jones.
Fortunately for humor, he's rather popular.
Moving on.
Oh, all right. Well, Luna's cutting out constantly.
We've lost our celestial body.
Oh no,
We've
I'm
lost
sorry.
him.
I'm here. I was just saying,
Okay.
moving
He's
on.
here.
Move
Oh,
on.
thank God.
Move
All
on.
right, moving on. So
No
the first
politics.
this episode, we'll just be hanging out. With the idea for this podcast, bringing it back, because I think we can all agree. First round, we did 10 episodes. Let's all be honest. Kind of cringe. Fair to say.
Incredibly cringe.
You weren't that bad.
Disagree.
I'm new here, by the way.
Somebody asked.
Yes.
Somebody asked for it. No.
Somebody did. Hellion specifically.
This is for you,
Hellion
Hellion.
also suggested that we add our fifth member, Mr. Maximus Freeman, in case one of us is ill or chasing a monster around the house.
That is correct. So, Mr. Freeman, if you'd like to just... Well, I mean, we'll all give brief introductions to reintroduce ourselves, but since he's been called out, the most Freeman of the Freemans, go ahead. Talk about yourself.
Well, there is one thing that I would like to say, because I did watch some of those old podcast videos.
I'm sorry.
Oh no.
No, I liked them. No, it's you guys did something really nice where you asked every guest like what their introduction to gaming was. So I figured I would just answer that question about myself.
Oh, smart.
Oh, we were so good.
keep
You
so
did
prepared.
have some good points.
I'm glad that the new person decided to do research and none of us else did. Good
I
to know.
watched the blooper video.
Okay, not the same.
I have yet to see that one. Everyone says I need to see that. I have yet to see the
It's so
blooper
good.
one.
It's my favorite.
But I actually got into gaming through the PC from my own father. See, he played games like Heretic and Doom on his work computer. He worked for like a newspaper company way back in the day. Those old like box computers, and he would just play all kinds of shooter games. And he brought Quake 2. So while everyone's getting into like Mario and things like that, I see that. And that game like grabbed my little baby mind from the get-go. I love the alien atmosphere, the music, the weird sci-fi guns. I mean, it looks like shit now compared to today's standards, but I hadn't seen anything like that at the time. And, if they remade that game, not saying if anyone hears that, but if they remade Quake 2 like they did Doom, I'd buy that in a heartbeat just to get that little nostalgia feeling again. But got me into the shooter genre, and I branched out from there.
That's
I guess-
lovely.
Going off of that, then I guess I'll also have to ask this question to everyone else. So from there, how did you get to HoH?
That was at random. That literally was just a random chance. TF2 had that server feature where you could just kind of grab any server at all, and I specifically had said, not official servers. Wound up there in the AMs, met the very entertaining Aussies that we all know, and just decided, this is a server I'm going to share with everybody I know because it seems like they'd have a good time there. Very friendly atmosphere. And it just went from there.
Back when it was We Know Hellion.
Yeah, it's like over 10 years or so.
Yeah. It's been a hot second, hasn't it? That is
Yeah.
the fifth member, Mr. Freeman. In case one of us ever falls ill, he'll be the mother, even though Dizzy's the mother, but he'll be the real mother of the
He's
group.
my mom.
He's your mom.
I'm the grandma.
There you go. He's the grandma. So I guess from Freeman, the only logical place to go is Nick. So how'd you get started with gaming?
Honestly, I as far back as I can remember, I got like the original Nintendo Entertainment System for Christmas when I was like 4 or 5. I want to say when I was 4, and like I was just completely addicted to it, like from day one. Like I don't even remember playing it back in the day, like when I first got it. But my oldest sister, she told me that the first game we had was the original Super Mario Bros. And I forced her to beat the very last level because I could not. Like my 4-year-old mind could not figure out how to get past Bowser throwing all those things, and I didn't know I had to hit the little axe at the end.
Oh, yeah.
And my 4-year-old mind did not know that was an axe. It was just like, how do I beat this man? I cannot jump on him. He is invincible. So she beat it, and she became a magician. She was too powerful for me. Like,
Aw.
As she is for all of us. Don't know what that means specifically, but hey. Going from there, how does Mario take you to HoH? How did you find it?
I actually, I was never ever good at first person shooters. Like Team Fortress 2 was like the first person shooter, not that I played, but that I actually put time into and got good at. And that was only because another member who got there maybe like a month or so before I did, Danny Duche, he was my best friend from college, and he was like, "Yeah, you got to play with these guys. These guys are really fun." And I was like, "I'm not good at first person shooters. I don't want to download." It's like he's like, "Just friggin' download it. We'll play." And the rest is history.
Thank you, Mr. Nick. Moving on from Nick, it starts also with an N. Luna, hi. So tell us, Luna, as I think it's fair to say you are the baby of the group.
Yeah.
How did you get started in gaming?
I don't remember exactly when. It was before I was in school. It's probably about like between 2 and 4 at some point. I picked up my parents' Super Nintendo that I don't think my mom ever played it, but my dad did. Grandparents had an NES growing up, my dad, had an NES growing up that I found in my grandparents' house. So I think my dad bought a Super Nintendo, played a little bit of it, and then I picked it up at some point. And it's basically like, as far as I can remember, I've been playing games. My parents got me a GameCube for my birthday, my 5th birthday. We had a garage sale. I sold a bunch of my old baby toys, and they used the money to buy a GameCube.
Buy you a man's toy.
Yeah.
The GameCube, the
So-
manliest of men toys.
So I guess like the short answer is literally as far back as I can remember, I've been playing games.
Nice. And then how did you find HoH?
Alright, so I started playing TF2 when I started high school. So I was 12, 13, I want to say 13. And my dad got a new computer, so I got his old computer, ran XP. And a friend of a friend played Team Fortress 2. I don't know how you got into it, but he's been playing TF2 and like Steam games and stuff long before I started. And so then my friend, who knew this guy who'd been playing longer than me, he was like, "Hey, you want to try this game that he's playing? It's called Team Fortress 2." And I'm like, "Sure." So we hung out. But this friend, by the way, not the friend of the friend, but the first friend, this is Jaden, if anyone knows him and remembers him.
I remember Jaden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came over one day, downloaded Steam, downloaded TF2, we started just play TF2. And that was like our go-to hangout game for like a year or two. And I remember playing on a map called Yukon. And I really liked Yukon. But the problem is that no one else seemed to like Yukon that much because it was not very popular. There was one official Yukon-only server that I'd go on, but it was just bots. So then one day I was like, "Oh, this is lame. I'm the only like human player here." So I did like what Freeman did, basically, just like did the random search for servers. I sorted them by map, and I'm like, "Okay, cool. Like this server is playing on Yukon. Let's go there." And that server was HoH. So complete accident that I ended up here.
Thank God we weren't playing Badwater at the time. Just skipped over that shit. Well, I guess that only leaves one last person, and that's the Miss Dizzy Daisy. Hello. So how did you get into video games?
Well, first of all, technically there's 2 of us because you haven't told us your story yet.
Who gives a shit?
But
Nah, it doesn't-
No, you need a turn.
We will
I'm
give
the
a
host.
shit.
Oh, shit.
I got into gaming because of my mom. She's been a better gamer than me my entire life. I remember being, like 2 years old trying to play Yoshi's Island on the Super Nintendo and not being able to beat it, and I would call her over, much like it sounds like Nick did with his sister, and I would be like, Mom, I can't beat this, and then she would sit like crisscross applesauce like a foot away from the TV with tiny me to help me figure out how to beat the level, and it just went on from there. I have always liked games. I love the escapism of it, and yeah, my mom.
Aw.
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 Well, I guess going from your mom to your other mom from another country, how did you find HOH?
Well, I was in a smaller group called Kilo Tango, and one night, my friend Veo, I think if any of you knew him, you would have known him as V. He said, hey, you gotta go play with these people, they're a lot of fun. I went once with V into the server with everyone and was terrified and did not speak a word. And then I want to say 2 months later, I was sitting at my computer and I was actually really devastatingly lonely at the time. And I was like, I remember there being lots of people in there that talk to each other, so maybe I'll go see if I can find them again. And luckily I did. And then actually, Zim, my now husband, shot me in the head I shot him in the head while I was dressed as a chicken with the Scribblenauts hat on, because I had the Scribblenauts game, and I had to add him as a friend so that I could see the screenshot that I was in, and I just stuck around, and that's what happened. I was sad, and people were friendly, and then I was a sad chicken. It was a good time.
And now you're married.
It's Cupid's arrow or bullet.
Very
Cupid's
accurate.
heavy.
Cupid's heavy. Oh, well, that's adorable. I guess that's everyone, so...
No,
You're not getting out of this
What-
yet.
huh?
How did
Sweetheart.
you get into gaming?
Sprinkle
Excuse me?
lumps. How did you get into gaming? Come on, tell us, Donut. I want to hear all about it.
If I must regale you with my story...
Oh, regale us.
It's very similar, where it's as long as I can... My memory is terrible, first off. So, the earliest I remember is being 6 years old, and I had my little Game Boy Advance SP. SP at the time. And I was playing, because it was backwards compatible, so I was playing the cool game of Pokemon Red. Because I was a cool kid that played Pokemon by themselves, so I also had Pokemon Blue, so I could trade myself.
Yes.
Gotta catch 'em all.
And I did, because I had no fucking friends, so I did catch them all. But I remember playing Pokemon, and then I remember, because I was really into, as a child, played console, I think at least most children in the late 90s, early 2000s, when the consoles were big, right? So I was really into consoles at the time, and I remember what really got me into shooters was my dad, being the great role model he is. My ma had gone to bed one night, and my dad was playing Gears of War, the first one, and I was just kind of staring down the hallway, looking at it from afar, because it was my mom was like, you cannot watch this, I will fucking ground you. And I was like, okay. So I remember she went to bed, so I would peek down the hall. My dad was like, don't tell your mom, just come here, you can help me with this mission. And I was like, okay. So I played fucking Gears at, I think, how old was I? I might have been 10 years old at the time. Great first experience, let me tell you, for at least a third-person shooter. But yeah, and then I've just kind of always been doing it. It's just always been just a fun thing that I do. Everyone fucking does, but I don't know, it's just been kind of my thing.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I don't know if it's beautiful. And I guess how I found HOH is entirely by Okay, here's why. I remember it. Because before I clicked on that server, I was on a different server that I had just gotten banned from because I backstabbed someone as a spy. So I got banned.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. TF2 is a great game, let me tell you. Which is why we all still play it to this day. But, yeah, so I got banned, and I was like, well, fuck, I still want to play. I guess I should find a new server. because I think how old? I was at the end of high school, so I think I was 17, 18. So yeah, I just got bands, and I was like, all right, well, I'll find a different server. And I was like, low grab, that's interesting. Sure, I'll play on that one. And it happened to be the Australian server, and I was like, oh, all these people are real nice. Didn't have a microphone, so I didn't fucking talk. So I think for the first 6 months, I just typed to people at HoH, which, man, typing speed's great now, but at the time, dog shit. Really hard to make jokes when it's like 2 minutes behind the fact.
Yeah.
When like something happens, you're like, dude, I have a great joke. Hold on. T-I-T-T. Same letter twice. So yeah.
Yep.
But then I blinked, and 4 years had gone by, and I was like, "Fuck! I'm still playing TFT with these fucking people. This is crazy." And now, long story short, cut up a few years, and here we are.
Oh man.
That's how they
What?
get you. The niceness.
The fucking Australians every time. You load in, and they go titties, and then it's over. You're stuck.
You can't do anything.
You can't do anything.
It's like a real life cheat code.
The allure of Australian titties.
Anyway, so I guess that's a little bit about us, and that generally won't be on for every episode. Every episode, the idea is we'll bring someone from the community, we'll talk to them, ask them some questions. You know, how'd they get into gaming? How'd they find HoH? And we'll just kind of keep it chill, you know, keep it like a nice in the before times when you would go to a bar with friends. It'd be like that.
You
Just
don't
a
want to
bunch-
grill them? Just totally interrogate them?
I mean,
I
that
mean-
would be interesting.
Tell me about your father.
So, what are the
What's your
That's
scores?
mother's
interrogation.
maiden name?
Last four
Where-
digits of your social?
Where were you on the 27th of July?
Have you
Maybe
ever
we
walked
won't
out
grill
into
them.
a big parking lot and forgotten where you parked your car?
We can save that for when Hellions on. But I think for the other guests we might have on, we'll keep it chill. Hellion, though,
He's getting
he's a
grilled.
special man. He's getting
Excellent.
grilled.
Yes.
You had a comment,
But for
old
n-
man.
Oh, and he is an old fucker, ain't he? But yeah, for now, I don't know, let's just fucking chill the fuck out. Just lean back, enjoy yourselves, y'all. So, I guess
Yeah.
that's us, but also, it's been 7 years. What the fuck have you been doing? Dizzy, you had a kid. And got married.
I did.
In that
I
order.
moved to the state where Zim lived, and then I got engaged to Zim, and then I got married to Zim, and then I got pregnant and had a baby with Zim, and then I bought a house with Zim. I'm doing all that like domestic woman bullshit.
Oh my god, you're adulting.
I am working part-time as a nanny still, and I'm working on going back to get my bachelor's in early childhood education, specifically to work with special needs children.
Nice.
Yeah!
So
Did you move to the state Zim was in just by chance, or was it to actually get closer to him?
Well, what had happened was my home situation when you guys all knew me was not particularly great, and Zim's mom's best friend needed somebody to come and watch her 8 kids, and they couldn't find anybody in the state where Zim lives that would be willing to babysit 8 kids all the time. And I was like, oh, I like kids, I could do that. And that's how I got up here.
That's
I
an
don't remember
unexpected
you being
story.
Southern.
I was from Virginia at the time. I just
Ah.
like to do the voice when I'm feeling particularly like a delicate flower.
My, oh my. Anyway.
But yes,
So-
we have a little boy. He will only be referred to as Monster on here, and he is almost 2. He actually has the same birthday as Hellion and Buttercup's eldest son, which is just big shoes to fill.
Well. Yeah. Yeah. So
What about
anyone
you,
else,
Donut?
anyone else get married or have a kid?
Yeah, did you get married and have a kid, Donut?
Fuck no. I have a girlfriend. That right now. That's the level.
No monsters coming in the foreseeable future?
No.
No
Look.
little donut holes. Oh wait, I don't want
Uh-uh.
No munchkins.
I won't say that one. Look, me and I'll call her girl, specifically went to the doctor and was like, so how can we stop this process for a little bit? So I got that shit on 7 years lock, let me tell you.
I took the female and got her fixed.
I took her and got her fixed temporarily, for now. Look, look, Diz, you can have a kid.
Donut does not like his women submissive and breedable.
Oh my goodness.
Well, maybe the second of those things.
In that order.
The first.
Well, it's not that kind of show. We're trying to keep this at a nice R, okay? Yeah, R. I was going to drop it down to PG-13, but I already said fuck like 4 times, and now that breaks the limit, so we're at an R.
This is a not safe for work podcast, but it's not specifically pornographic or violent.
Yet.
Well,
Okay,
we
that
do
works.
have the rest of our lives.
Stop.
I still have to talk to Mr. Left Titty Nipple Ghost Hunter Nick, so...
I still want to know where that came from, because I have no idea.
What do
Here's
you
where it
got
came
against
from.
the right titty?
I don't know where this came from. I need help.
Wait.
I
thought
need
that
an
was
adult.
I can explain.
Okay.
It came from the fact I was writing down intros for everybody, and I was on your intro, and I said, all right, he's an author. By the way, hey, he's an author. Read his book. Go find it. We'll talk about it later. He's an author. He likes anime. What else does he do? We played Phasmophobia. He likes to punch ghosts in the left titty nipple. That's funny. It's Nick. And that's how I got there.
At least it has a story.
But well, it's a something.
It's something.
So, I guess Diz made a baby. You made 2 books.
Those are my babies.
So you did have 2 babies.
Okay, we'll go with that. I don't have to feed them though,
Oh.
or change
You-
their diapers.
You've written
Technically, I
two
don't
books?
have to.
No, you don't have to do anything.
Dizzy.
But you wrote 2 books, correct, Nick?
Yes, the Magi of Gaia series. I have 2 volumes out. It's going to have many more. But currently, I got something in my brain that wanted to be written on a different series, and it would not leave my brain until I started putting words to not paper because I'm typing it, but you know what I mean. So I'm working on a younger, a book aimed towards the younger audience that I'm having a lot of fun working on right now.
Hell yeah.
I have quit Walmart to solely be a author, and I did not know that this would be such a pain in the ass to be self-employed, because whenever I have to fill out paperwork, they don't like self-employed.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, you can't be self-employed because that is not an option on any paperwork, and if it is, they don't know what it means. They're like, well, we will need you are
We're talking about
self-employed. We will still
Yeah.
need this from your employer. It's like, I am my employer. Yeah, we need a paycheck, like your pay stub. I don't have a pay. I work for myself. I don't give myself a pay stub.
Maybe you should.
I should.
Have you ever considered just being like, here you go? Oh, thank you.
It has come to such an annoyance sometimes that I have considered, it's like, can I write myself something? Will it count?
Will it count? That's a good question. You just like on a sticky note, pay to Nick.
It's all done electronically. And
No.
I just need something that is...
Need.
I just need!
Well, speaking of need, Dizzy had a baby. Nick wrote 2 babies. Freeman, what you been doing?
How many babies have you made?
Yeah.
Technically, I am still working on a couple of babies here. The Nick kind, not the Daisy kind. Gotta make that clarification.
All right. Woo.
But I know his troubles with taxes for sure. It is a mess when you're trying to write that down, keep track of everything. I do solely update a mature dark fantasy comic that's been around for a bit. Revolves around a questionably ethical sellsword and a possessed trauma survivor in a magically evolving realm. But that is something I update very slowly because more like a hobby. I actually am more mercenary, and this is where the taxes come in, with commissions. And since we're not safe for work, as I talked with Daisy, I guess I can just go ahead and say I draw porn.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Mom. Hell yeah.
So that's where like 99% of that comes from.
Fuck yeah. This will not be included in the YouTube link, so probably do not ask for it.
Oh
Oh,
well.
I'm going to ask for it.
Okay, well Nick can ask.
I
We can
already
ask
did.
off. We can ask off stream for it.
There you go.
That'll work. I mean, it's all depending on what platform you could see both or none. Certain sites. That's an interesting venture when you've got both safe for work and not safe for work. You got like a DeviantArt account that's not going to be not safe for work. Even though I've seen some shit on there. If you go Newgrounds, you put anything you want on there. That doesn't matter. You do Patreon. They're particular when it comes to nudity, not so much the violence.
Hell
I'll
yeah.
never understand that.
Neither will I.
Well, fuck, Lynn. I left us for last. There's a kid, there's 2 books, and then there's a porn drawer and a comic book artist. So what the fuck have you been doing?
He's making kids in a different way.
Yeah.
He's assisting in the
He's
creation of Daisy
assisting
Kids,
in it. Excuse me?
not Nick Kids.
I don't want to know what you're implying there, but so Luna, save us from this moment where I think Daisy just implied she looked at Freeman's porn to make
No,
her
I
child.
said he's helping people have babies.
So, Luna, save us.
You wanted to know it was really weird.
I went to college.
Yeah.
I
Woohoo!
didn't make it. Okay, so the whole story basically is after when's the last time? When did Overwatch come out? 2016?
Somewhere around there.
Yeah. Last time I played an HoH server, nothing to do with Overwatch coming out. I promise you that. I was already kind of slipping away from the HoH community. So that was my first year of college around that time. Doing some university transfer courses, and then I found a program called the Medical Laboratory Technologist program. Basically, med lab techs are hospital laboratory workers. Some of them draw blood. Like, we're all trained phlebotomists. Phlebotomy is the drawing of blood. Usually we get lab assistants to do that in our hospital here, but in smaller hospitals, the lab techs will go out and do the blood draws, and then we bring it back to the lab, and we analyze it, run it on machines, and we also do basically anything that can come out of your body, we can analyze it. We can culture
Have you
it.
talked to Daisy recently?
Oh my god.
That's our go-to.
Not that kind. Actually, we're not going
No?
there. But yeah, like, we do blood. It's a big one. What else do we do? It's mostly blood. It's a lot of blood. Urinalysis. If you have growths that might be cancerous, then we'll take the pathologist, or who's a they're a specific kind of doctor, specializes in like cancers and tumors, growths, things like that. But basically, if it's growing in your body and it's not supposed to be growing that way, it's a pathologist. That's their care.
Here, I'm going to channel my inner Miss Buttercup real quick and just ask the question I know she would ask. What about sebum?
Yep. Actually, yes, I have done semen analysis. I have counted men's sperm.
Brag about it. Some of us do it for free.
What was the highest count?
I don't remember. It's been a couple of years.
No.
Over 9,000.
Oh shit.
Does your job handle any of the like COVID tests?
No, at our hospital we don't do COVID tests. In our city specifically, we have a COVID testing facility that is an offshoot from the hospital, because we don't want people coming into the hospital if they don't need to. It's better for them not to come to the hospital, and like, we're already understaffed and over capacity, We don't also need people coming in who don't have any symptoms other than just like a cold, and they might have COVID and they might spread it to people. We don't need that at the hospital. I remember it was kind of a big deal when COVID came, though, because basically any sample that comes in that's from a possible COVID patient, basically, like, the way we saw it was any body fluid could have COVID in it. So we're going to treat every body fluid from a patient with COVID-like symptoms as if it has COVID in it, and then we're going to, like, for everything is, like, gown up, mask up, face shield, process it in a fume hood, and then when we go put it on the machine, it gets run by itself, and we'll have to, like, clear the area so only the person handling the sample is... It's a process.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Anyway... I started that program in 2018. I started my practicum summer 2019. It's a 3-semester of curriculum and then a year of practicum. Didn't pass my practicum, had to redo some of it. Went out of town over the summer of 2020. So, you know... thankfully, COVID cases were low up here in Canada at the time, but still, I had to move 8 hours away to do my practicum, and I was just, like, living alone, basically, for 2 months. It was terrible. It was miserable. And then I failed anyway.
Oh,
and
God.
they said, like...
Yeah!
And they said, sorry, like, you had two strikes and you're out, sort of thing. Like, we tried our best, and I tried my best, but it just... looking on it now, I can tell that the job wasn't right for me. It's very detail-oriented, and I am not a detail-oriented person. I'm very clumsy. It's just kind of wing it. You don't wing it in the lab.
You wing it on the HoH podcast.
Yeah!
Hell yeah!
Hell
There
yeah!
you
go. And then I worked for a year at a job. It's one of those jobs where or after you work it and you quit, you promise you'll never go back there again. It's one of those jobs.
Hell yeah.
And now I'm back in school. I'm up at the university, working towards a physics degree, and then I'm going to be a teacher.
Nice.
That's the plan.
that's
at least.
great.
Never gave up.
Yeah.
I need to stop introducing myself last, because this has fucked me over twice now.
My
Go
question is,
Because
are you
I-
in fact a cop?
I need to go first, because I have to go after... First off, it was after everyone else's introductions and everyone else's fucking intro to gaming. And I have to go after the mom, the author, the porn/comic book artist, and the soon-to-be a teacher for physics.
Yep.
I mean, he's the one that's actually beneficial to society, I'd say. So,
Hey, I'm not doing anything quite yet. I'm
True.
just a first-year student. I'm not doing much.
I mean, you worked at a hospital. You're basically a doctor.
Lab coat Luna.
Lab coat Luna.
Oh.
Lab coat... Alright.
I wasn't even paid.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Intern Luna. Intern Luna. Well.
Yeah, it was an internship, basically. They got
Slay,
away with it
Luna.
because, technically, it was still school. I had to write tests.
Mm-hmm.
So
You
tell
have
us
to work,
about
but you don't get
yourself,
paid.
Donut. What have you been doing? What have you been doing for 7 years?
Fuck, for 7 years.
That's how long it's been since
I-
the last podcast was up. 7.5, actually.
Man, oh, shit. What have I been doing? Man, I've been living a lot of life. Vague, I know, but
Go
I mean, there
on.
was science
So am I.
that
I don't
you
know.
said that.
what have I been doing? I mean, yeah, I was in college, and then I was kind of out of college, and then I'm back in college, and then the world ended, so that kind of fucking puts a damper on that shit. When you have to do, because I'll say, I am a graphic art major, so I'm an art major in general.
Oh.
Nice.
And as part of that, here's the weird part. One of the classes I have to take is a film photography class. Really hard to do film photography when you're not allowed to go outside, and when you don't have a black room. Makes it real hard to process film or do anything with it.
Wait, can you process film without a background?
I can. It's just a pain in the fucking ass. And also, I have to buy all the fucking equipment that they were giving me for free. And I was not about to do that. So, world ended. I was like, alright. They've said, hey, you could drop out. It's fine. I was like, alright. It would be like a month, right? It wasn't a month. It's been 2 years. So I'm waiting for the world to get a little bit better before I can go back. But yeah, I've been school. I've been fucking working. I actually didn't tell any of y'all. I actually got a new job 2 weeks ago.
Ooh. Oh, nice.
After leaving, I now work for a company it's one of those companies that you've never heard of, but then you look into it and you realize, oh fuck, they work all over the fucking America. It's called BSN. So they do like sports apparel for high schools, essentially.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like
that's
one of those
rad.
companies you would never know the name of, but then you look into it and you go, oh, they ship to every state in the country? Okay, good to know. So yeah, and before that I was working at a grocery store for 5 years. And man, bad normally, definitely bad during COVID.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But what else I've been? I went to Vegas. That was fucking, man. Good times in Vegas. Be very selective about who you bring to Vegas with you. Is what I learned.
Did you have a girlfriend at the time?
No, I was single, luckily.
Perfect.
Did you have
My
a
thing
girlfriend
about-
immediately after you came home?
No, I also did not have a child immediately after I came home. But what I did have was a friend, because there was a group of us. We went to Vegas for Warped Tour, actually in Vegas. And we went and we were chilling on the Vegas Strip. And we knew it was going to be a good day because we all decided to get the big, like, fucking, what are they called? What are they fucking called? Daiquiris. So I was like, I'll play it conservatively. I'll only get the 1 foot long cup of daiquiri, please.
Conservative.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's the conservative one.
It is what it is.
I walked out. I had one. It was a foot long. I was drinking out of it. Great time. My friend had one. My other friend had his. He had like like a big ass mug full. And then our third friend came out, and he got the yardstick, which is 3 feet of daiquiri.
No.
Yes.
Why?
He
That's a little
put that
much.
shit away. He put it down. And we realized, all right, we were going to cool down, and then, because, all right, the whole plan for the day was get daiquiri, drink, because we had tickets to go on a Ferris wheel in Vegas, where you could drink on the Ferris wheel for as long as you're on it. And from there, we were going to go to an escape room. That was the plan. So we each got our daiquiri. He pounded down the 3 feet of daiquiri, like no fucking question. We took a break. We went to the water park that was in the hotel. From there, we were like, all right, we're all cooled down. Let's go to the Ferris wheel. It'll be chill. We got on the Ferris wheel. Again, I was the good boy because I realized how fucked it was going to get. So I only had 3 drinks on the Ferris wheel. This fucking guy, I think the bartender had to call him off because he was going back for his 9th drink.
Oh, no. Is this Mr. Yardstick?
This is Mr. Yardstick.
No, Mr.
He was-
Yardstick, what are you doing?
He can take it.
He could not take it because we were like, all right, we realized we're getting fucked up. We'll stop. We had free passes for the hotel buffet, so we went to the buffet, started eating, tried to soak it up. We shouldn't have gone to this escape room because I realized Mr. Yardstick was so fucked up that he started eating mashed potatoes and the potatoes fell off his spoon onto his phone. So he just looked at his phone and just started licking it off his phone. And then he started
He's
using his
fine.
phone as the spoon.
Oh no!
Yeah, he's fine.
He was not fine. So we were like, all right. We asked him, he's like, hey, are you good? Do you think you could do this? And he's like, yeah, I'm good. So we started walking. He started drifting, started getting pretty close to the street, so we had to pull him back, and he's like, I'm good. No, guys, I got this. It's like, you don't look like you got it, but all right, here. So we went in, and it's like it was a Saw-themed escape room. So we're going through it. The whole time, Mr. Yardstick is just standing in the center of the room, just kind of doing like that sort of rock back and forth.
Oh no!
Because he doesn't have any kind of balance, but he's standing. And so we get it, and it was like a multi-roomed experience. So we went from one room to the next room to the next room, and we got into like the final room, and we're all trying to solve it because we're all more or less buzzed, but we can handle it. He's fucking gone at this point, and he's just like standing in the corner, and in the corner is like a toilet that's like faked clog,
Oh no!
and he's just staring at it, going like, "Dude, there might be something in the toilet. I don't." And he like starts putting his hand in there. I'm like, you're fucking gross. He's like, nah, dog. I'm just gonna sit down for a second. He just starts sitting on the toilet. He puts his hands in his heads, or his head in his hands, and he's just like sitting there for the rest of the time. As soon as we get out of the escape room, they're like, hey, you solved it, hooray! We get out and we're like getting like merch or whatever. He like walks up to all of us. And he's like, hey guys, I went and I counted every toilet and I took a shit in every single one. He was like so proud. He didn't take a shit in any of them, but he was just like, I took a shit in every toilet. I did
Mr.
it.
Yardstick.
That'd be a problem.
He was not having a great time, so we were like, all right, we should walk him back. So we walked him back, and we were still like, it's only like 9:30. We still wanted to hang out. So we're like, but we gotta take Mr. Yardstick back. He cannot be like this. So we brought him back to the hotel, and luckily our rooms were conjoined. So we just took him up there, and we were like, hey, just go in here, buddy. He's like, well, I'm not tired. It's like, yes, you are. You're tired. And we just pushed him into the room and closed the door.
Good.
You're like, he'll be fine. He was right as rain. Next day, he woke up. He's like, oh, what happened last night? I was like, don't worry about it. You'll find out later.
All right, I've changed my mind. Donut goes last every single time now.
Yep.
That was
Yep,
incredible.
that was the best.
Oh, I guess I have a couple more. I'll save them. We have other podcasts. I'll save them.
Save them.
I'll get them loaded
save
up
'em.
and I'll save them.
We space it out.
There'll be many podcasts to come. Don't worry.
Yes, there will. I hope there will be many more podcasts to come.
There will.
Hold on.
is a
Do we have a
threat.
timer? Do we have a time set up, Luna? How far in are we?
47 minutes?
That sounds about right.
You know, we can go a little long this episode.
Well, I wanted to steal the host hat for a second because I
Oh,
thought
here.
of what
Take my hat.
I felt may be like a decent reunion podcast question because I'm
Oh.
super serious. I want to know what y'all's favorite game was that you played in the time that we were not hanging out, as well as your game of like 2021.
Oh, shit. Well, I guess I should go last, so go ahead, Nick.
All right. For the past year, there's been a bunch of really good games that came out in the past year. Like Resident Evil Village was really good. I really enjoyed that. I was upset at Redbox for no longer stocking games because that's how I played Resident Evil 7, and then I had to like do a trial for GameFly so I could get it like the day of. It's like, ha, I'm gonna play this game for free one way or another. So yeah, I really liked. I would might even put Resident Evil, just both Resident Evils on like. I can't say for a year, but since we've been gone, both Resident Evils it's been a return to form, and I've been really happy with how they've done the last two games. It's I guess the game I played the most since kind of getting out of TF2 was Rainbow Six Siege. Because I put nearly in TF2 I put nearly 3,000 hours into TF2. In Rainbow Six Siege I put about half that so far.
Jesus Christ.
Need some more.
Well, the friends are getting back into it. It is a salt-inducing game. Your fries will be salted. But lately I've been playing a lot of Apex. Like I said, I was never good at first-person shooters until like I just like hammered out hour after hour after hour into Team Fortress 2, playing with everybody. Like, I just eventually got good at them. For non-shooter games, I would probably say Since We've Been Gone. Man, I think this might be one that not a lot of people are familiar with, but I really enjoyed The Beginner's Guide by the guy that did Stanley Parable.
I've heard that
Yeah,
was really good.
yeah.
Yeah, that was it took me a while to see like what that game was trying to say, but like after a while, once it hits you what you're supposed to get out of that is, it was like probably one of the smartest games. Most hype game that was probably Death Stranding, just because Kojima got to fly his freak flag. We'll say that. I'll say that without shame.
Oh, he flied it high and true.
It was the only game that I was like, you're not supposed to have fun playing this, and I still enjoyed it. But I don't know. There's a bunch of others. I'm not gonna try and name every game I've enjoyed since we haven't played. And I can't even think if we're trying to get favorites, I can't even. But those are some notable ones that I think is worth mentioning.
Hell
It's a tough question.
It is a really tough question.
It is. We might have a tougher question later for you, Freeman. But for now, Freeman, what's your favorite game of the past 7 years and this year?
Alright, so current release, I don't actually have one for current release. I've played like the Back for Blood, of course, recently, but I wouldn't say that's a favorite or a Game of the Year deserving game, because it's got a few issues with it. But games I've really enjoyed over the decade were definitely like Risk of Rain 2 or Deep Rock Galactica. That's definitely one that I'd like to go back to. StarCraft 2 is another one. But yeah, I mean, I actually stick with a game for a long-ass time, play it. That's why I played so much TF2. I was a Halo fan for a while. Might get the new one if they actually do the co-op, the local split screen. But that won't actually be out until March, I believe. But yeah, that's me.
From Freeman, it only makes sense to go to Nick. And back then to Luna.
So didn't we go to Nick already?
Like, no, let's do Nick again.
I was like,
That's
all right,
why
let's
we
go.
go to Luna.
So if we're just gonna go like 2021 releases, I played exactly one game that came out in 2021. It's really good. It's Metroid Dread. I enjoyed it.
Hell yeah.
I
didn't know that was out.
Yeah, my favorite genre of game is the Metroidvania. Metroid is one of my favorite game series of all time. Scratch that, is my favorite game series of all time. My favorite all-time game, it's on one disc, counts as one game, is the Metroid Prime trilogy. But I'm kind of disappointed by Dread. Like, it's good. It is really good. The movement is... Oh my god, the movement is so good. I have not had this much fun in a movement in a Metroidvania since the Ori games. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. But the game has a very specific way of leading you down a path and preventing you from backtracking, and when I noticed it was doing that to me, it felt like it was restricting me, and that was not a good feeling. But also I can see why people really like that as well. I'm not gonna delve into all this because this is not my game of the year. Quite frankly, like, it's not even the best game.
Like, I'm not going to talk about Back for Blood.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I don't want to take up one time being like, yeah, like this game, I didn't like it. I really like Dread. I do. Just not my favorite. 3 games. I'm going to talk about 3 games that are my game of the last 7 years. Games in the last 7 years for 3 different reasons. Number 1, Half-Life Alyx. I got a Valve Index this year as a gift to myself for making it through a whole year of a job that I said I'd never go back to. Woohoo! I got a Valve Index, I played Half-Life Alyx, and holy shit, guys. VR is incredible! And Half-Life Alyx is an amazing showcase of what VR can be and what a AAA studio can do with VR. Like, I love all these indie VR games out there. Like, you got like Boneworks, Beat Saber, Tale of the Stolen Pets is really good. Arizona Sunshine, but Half-Life Alyx is something else. I think the objectively best game I've played is Outer Wilds.
I've heard of that.
I have.
That's the space one?
That is the space one. I will not talk about it because I think the less you know about it, the better. But I think it's the best game I've ever played.
Did you repeat
Praise.
time in that one? Is that the one I'm thinking about?
Yeah, that's that one.
Okay.
I am speechless when it comes to this game. Not only because like I don't want to talk about it, because it's just incredible. I have been like, after I played Outer Wilds and then I got the DLC Echoes of the Eye, I was like talking to my best friend. I'm like, you need to play this game. I need to make her play it and play with her so I want to relive the experience of playing it for the first time again.
You need to fanboy with someone.
Yes, and I've been trying to find other games that give me the same kind of I will never experience this for the first time again feeling. Like, I've been looking at like Return of the Obra Dinn. I heard that like that's one of those games. Trying to see what else. There's a whole bunch of these like artsy story games that apparently are really good. I haven't played Earthbound, so Earthbound is on the list. You know, stuff like that. Like, I will never play Outer Wilds again for the first time. I will never play Outer Wilds for the first time again, and I would give so much to do so.
That sounds incredible.
But my number one game is Celeste.
It must be good. It's your icon.
Yeah, it's my Steam and my Discord icon. I picked up Celeste during one of the Steam sales. You know, one of those, right? Because I heard it's really good. I'm like, okay, it's like a platformer, challenging platformer. It looks kind of cute. I love 16-bit graphics. I love games with good sound, with good music. So let's play it. And I didn't play it until I was in Prince Rupert, 8 hours away from practicum, being miserable for 2 months. And a couple weeks in, I was not doing well in practicum, and, you know, I couldn't really go anywhere because everything was closed down, and I was just not in a good state mentally, and I decided I'm gonna play Celeste. Why not? And I think it's good that I did that, because Celeste is a game about... Well, it's like, the story of Celeste is you're playing this girl, Madeline, who's climbing a mountain to spite herself, really. She, young adult with depression, literally... I don't want to spoil it, but literally fighting herself as she climbs this mountain. And it's a powerful and touching story about growth and self-acceptance. And it was just... And it was fucking hard, too. So, even though, like, I went to Rupert and I didn't accomplish what I wanted to, which was pass practicum, I finished Celeste, and I still felt like I accomplished something while I was there. So,
Good.
yeah, and the other thing is, like, I always liked strawberries. There's like collectibles in the game. There's strawberries. When I came home from Rupert, just like a switch just flicked, and it was like, I need everything to be strawberry. I don't know what.
Alright.
I think like I partly blame Celeste for that, but ever since then I'm just like everything strawberry. So yeah,
Listen
that
to
game
us.
really touched me in a way that no other game has.
My game of the year did not touch me in that.
Point on the door where it did.
Listen to us sounded like almost like a video game podcast, but not anymore. Miss Dizzy, I know that you hate going after these three fine gentlemen.
Well,
So go after these three fine gentlemen, please.
Luna specifically had such a touching sentiment to share, and my favorite game of 2021, is about fucking weaponry.
Talk about it.
It's called Boyfriend Dungeon.
Yeah!
It is
no.
part dungeon crawler, part dating sim. And I don't know what it was about this particular game. I played it on my Switch, and I got sucked right the hell into it and played it until I had romanced every weapon. I had conquered the universe. Well, you don't conquer the universe. But if we're gonna go sentimental wise, I thought it was really nice because they had really good representation. There was, characters of all races. You could romance males, females, non-binary people, etc. My favorite romance was actually Valeria. She's a very pretty girl and a prettier dagger. But my game for like the decade or so that we were gone would be probably a shock to no one that looks at my Steam. The Binding of Isaac.
You
Now-
fucking
Oh.
love The Binding of Isaac.
Hear me out. I never thought that this would be my kind of game, and it turns out that the kind of game that I find the most comforting is roguelike. There's something so, like, lovely to me about going and dying, but getting a little bit further, and then going a little bit further, and a little bit further, and then really feeling like you've conquered a mountain. After you finally get to the point that you need to get to. But I have The Binding of Isaac on my laptop, it's on my gaming PC, it's on my Switch, I have it everywhere. I would play it 2 o'clock in the morning when I'm feeding the baby, I play it to wind down from work, and I don't know why, because it's not a peaceful game. It's about a small child trying to cry his way out of hell. But something about it is just like a warm blankie.
It speaks to you.
Yeah, there's just something about it. I don't know if it's like hashtag traumatic childhood or what, but something about that game is just like chef's kiss. It's like my mom giving me a hug. You know what I mean? It's so nice.
Which is ironic.
Yeah, which is incredibly ironic, actually. But, yeah, I don't have anything nearly as sentimental and nice, but it's The Binding of Isaac. I will be playing that game at least once a day for as long as I am able to do so, because it's just my zen activity.
I'm going to
Aw.
derail the conversation for just a moment and ask you one question that you probably already have been asked before. Have you played Hades?
Oh my god, I forgot about it!
Yes!
See?
I was like, she's got.
Hades would have been my game of the year, son
You
of a
didn't
bitch!
think this was a tough question, but no.
Yeah. I was like, she's
forgot
gushing
about-
about roguelikes. Does she know about literally like?
Tattoo for Demeter!
I'm like, does she
How
know
did I
about one of the
forget
best roguelikes ever?
How did I forget Hades? Oh my
It's so
god.
You have cheated.
Alright,
I-
Dizzy,
I-
here, I'm gonna make you laugh. I was talking to my friend when I was playing Hades, and I finally got to the boss, and I said to my friend, I'm gonna go beat up my dad, and 5 minutes later, my dad beat me up.
I cannot believe that I forgot Hades. I love Greek and Roman mythology and roguelikes, and I got a tattoo of wheat on my arm for Demeter, and yet I forgot Hades existed. Son of a bitch.
Hades.
Never
What's your
change,
name,
Miss Diz.
Donut?
Never
Donut,
change, Miss Diz.
Donut, save me from the shipwreck.
There's no. Now we're sinking, and I'm playing the fucking orchestra. I'll shout out a few games that I really like, and I want to shout out. Shout out to fucking Blood Bowl 2. Love Blood Bowl. Love Warhammer. So shout out to Unpacking. I feel a game that you would really love, Miss Diz. It's cute as fuck, and I loved it. It's only like 3 hours. It's great. Unpacking. Hit it up.
Okay.
Shout out to my favorite game of all time, Phasmophobia. Love it so much. I can't wait to play it every minute that I get an opportunity to.
What?
Chef's kiss. Love
Excuse
it.
me.
What?
I was
Right.
there while you were shitting your pants, good sir.
No, I was in the
I
truck. You
like
couldn't see
this.
shit. But yeah, love it. Love horror. My favorite genre of all time. The sarcasm is thick.
No, I don't hear. You're coming. You're coming in.
No, I'm not. Shout out to Fights in Tight Spaces. Really fucking good little indie game. Shout out, because I'm a masochist, to the game I've been playing for 8 years, League of Legends. I hate myself. That's right.
I also hate myself. Let's go.
Like arcane.
Yeah.
Oh, I got bullied
arcade.
out of League of Legends.
I-
Oh.
And shout out... Fuck, my game of the year? My game of the year this year. Shout out to Halo Infinite. Love it. That's not sarcasm. I really do love Halo Infinite from what I've been playing. Fucking a good return to form for Halo. I'm a big fucking Halo simp. Before Gears of War, because I played Halo 1 before I played Gears of War, so I'm a big fucking Halo simp, and I love it. I've played every game. I've read the books. I'm a fucking simp for Halo, and I love Halo Infinite. That's my game of the year. And shout out to my last game of the year. If it wasn't going to be Halo Infinite, I'm bringing it, the JRPG, fucking Persona 5 Royal.
Ooh.
Didn't expect that.
I fucking secretly, I
We
love
didn't see
anime.
it coming.
Secretly love anime, and I fucking love Persona 5.
Persona 5 was good.
It was
I've heard good thing.
fucking tastic. Beat it once, playing through Royal, playing through Strikers. Love it. But yeah, that's the games I like. That's the games I played.
I wanted to ask real quick.
Go ahead.
Are you? You said Halo. Are you
Yeah, I
talking
love
about
Halo.
PvP or campaign, or both?
Both.
Okay.
I love
Good
both.
man. Good man.
How is the campaign?
I've been loving it so far. It is.
I need to watch.
It's everything. It's all the fun that I had playing Just Cause 2 with how like open and dynamic that game can be as far as movement's concerned. But with like some of the good parts of Ubisoft open worlds, it's got that mixed with like the Just Cause 2 sort of grapple hook movement. Like it has never not been fun to grapple hook a fusion coil and throw it at a fucking grunt. It's still fun every time. So yeah, Halo Infinite's my game. Masochism from League of Legends. Shout out to Persona. And with that, it brings us to our final question. The most important question that we can possibly ask. Greater than politics, greater than anything else. I will start with you, Nick. Would you rather
No,
Fight.
no.
100
Yes.
No! No!
Yes.
Size
God!
horse-sized duck?
Wait. Ask it again. Everybody kind of cringed over it, but just ask
So
it
would
one
you
more time.
rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
100 duck-sized horses, because ducks. If you ever fed a duck, the beak's scary. The beak gets scary. I don't want. If it's a horse-sized duck, I can't do it.
Miss Daisy,
Use the logic.
Miss Daisy, I have a very important question for you.
Yes.
Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
100 duck-sized horses, but because I don't want to fight them, I want to frolic in a field with them and like lay on the floor and like pet them and stuff.
No, this
You're
is
going
a
to
fight.
tame them. It works. She says it's basically
It's
taming
a
them.
fight.
Yeah, I want to tame them. If I gotta fight them, it's the one big duck. One shot to the heart, duck down. But if I get to tame them, I'm going for the baby horses.
There you go.
All right, Luna. You know the question. 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
Oh my god.
My mouse is over the stop recording button. You know that.
I'll answer it because Freeman needs to go last. I'll fight the 100 duck-sized horses.
I mean, worst thing to do is kick you, right? Huh?
I mean, it'd probably hurt like shit, but you know,
I mean,
I'll just go in there just like remember that scene at the end of Star Wars Episode 3 where Anakin's just fucking... That'd be me. So Freeman.
Oh, I would punt those little chihuahua horses. Totally. Listen, I deal with small dogs. I walk my dog around the neighborhood. Some neighbors have smaller dogs that just come out and yep, yep, yep. And I have a bat with me. And every time I'm walking by, there's a little thought in my head that goes, I could do this today. No one's around. I could just see how far I could send that thing flying. Hasn't happened yet.
Live?
Listen, there's a lot of people that don't keep their dogs in their yards.
And with
Okay,
that,
please
Well,
wrap this up,
and
Mr.
with that,
Donut.
I see why he came up with this question now. He has an axe to grind.
There's a dog on the next street that I'm thinking of
Thank
right
you
now.
for listening to our first return episode of the HoH Podcast, or if we decide to change the name, who knows? But thanks for listening.
I'm a big fan of the
I
HoCast,
think-
personally.
The HoCast, we'll think about it. I was thinking Hellions Basement, or I don't know. We'll come up with names. We actually hope,
Basement.
speaking of Hellion, we actually hope to have Hellion on as the first guest
Do
for
we
our
wanna
next episode.
Go a little bit
Yes.
into our plan for what we're gonna do for guests in the future.
Well, okay. That's actually a good idea. I think the plan we came up with is we want to get like the big members first and kind of like work through everyone and kind of just talk to them and hang out. Is that right? Is that the plan?
Yeah, so I believe the plan was we're gonna get Mr. Big Shit on campus himself, Hellion, first.
Yeah, there's no campus, and I don't know if he's a big shit. He's a big shit, but I don't know if he's the big shit.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
And then I think we want to go through as many mods and admins as we can get on as possible.
Yeah.
And then after that, do lottery, I think, is what we're gonna do.
Lottery, yeah. And we'll just bring them in, talk to them, have a good time,
Ideally, we would like to get to
keep
everyone,
it chill.
but I think we all understand when we say, like, the admins and the mods of this community do quite a lot for us,
Yeah, they do.
and they're some of the oldest members as well.
Hey, quick round of applause to the admins and mods.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
keeping our community
Yeah.
happy and healthy and safe from
You did the damn
the
thing.
not cool
Woo.
shitheads.
You made the baby like Dizzy made a baby, except for this
Yeah.
baby's HOH. So anyway, as a final note, yeah. So I think we're hoping to get Hellion on for the first episode. I think he'd be a great first guest. But for now, hey, Miss Diz,
Yeah.
see you later. Hey, Mr.
Bye.
Freeman, see you later, Mr. Freeman.
Goodbye.
Hey, see you later, Nick.
Later.
Bye, Luna.
Go fuck yourself, Mr. Donut.
And hey,
Wow.
There it is.
Wow.
audience, thanks for listening, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Everybody.
Bye.
Good night.